This is like my first real, I guess not real, I guess this is my first YouTube video that I plan on maybe putting out there. I don't know. It's weird for me to do this. It's so embarrassing to sit here in my car and talk to myself. I can't bring myself to sit inside the house and do it because my husband's upstairs and I just feel stupid, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to create a YouTube channel. I'm not going to say I'm thinking about it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to create a YouTube channel. I feel this sudden call to share my experience as having refound my faith in Christianity. I grew up Catholic and was pretty into it when I was a little kid, but in the way that, little kids are into Santa Claus, that magical feeling that you sense when you're a child that you grow out of if you don't nurture it, if you don't develop a deeper understanding of it. And, as I got older and had more questions and I didn't feel like those questions were being answered appropriately, and some tragedies happened that I couldn't explain in the way I wanted to understand. I just couldn't explain it. If this loving God was so wonderful and great, then how could these things happen, right? And I abandoned the Catholic Church and went on and lived my life. And I believe I was infested with demons. I get even to say it out loud feels like I'm going to be judged by some people who hear me, especially my own family. If they ever see this video, would be like, "Oh, Lauren, you're just crazy. Who says stuff like that? That's not real." But I feel like it is real. I feel like it has been real. I have many experiences where I've seen, witnessed, spirits. Now, what I believe maybe were demonic when I was younger and even when I was older. I have so many supernatural types of experiences that I can't really explain in any other way. Also, that God has just been with me all this time, and it's not that I didn't know it. I knew it. I knew it was there. I knew God was there. I knew Jesus was with me, but I put blinders on, right? I didn't want to admit that or acknowledge it. Even in the times where I considered myself a non-believer, I couldn't bring myself to ever say I was an atheist because I knew that wasn't right. I couldn't say I'm atheist. I could always say, well, I'm spiritual, I'm agnostic, I'll just figure it out when I die. I think a lot of us do that. But that's not true. I think I always believed, but I felt a lot of anger towards God. I'm sorry, God. Boy, I'm gonna cry. At some point I just recognized that, boy, God has favored me, even though I've been awful most of my life. I've done terrible things, not as bad as some, though much worse than others. I have been a bad person all of my life, really. And yet God has favored me somehow. And that's a miracle to me. And there's no way that I can look back on any of these moments in my life and not believe that God's been with me the whole time. And if I were to deny him now, it would be the biggest insult, slap in the face that I could ever give to him. And I just feel like I've been called to talk more about this. And I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing these videos or not, or what, but I just feel like maybe I'm supposed to do that right now. And who knows, maybe they'll get better as I go along. Anyway, hi, I'm Lauren McHugh. I'm a believer with all my soul. Recent believer, I guess always believer, but recently enthusiastic believer. How about that? And I want to share my experiences with you. So I hope you follow along. And, as they say, click the like button, click the subscribe button, follow me. Here I am, God. Thank you.